You're stuck in a rut. You're not seeing any improvement in your game. That's why you clicked on this video. Unless you just love my sparkling personality. Nah, you're just not getting better. And I'm going to tell you why and how you can fix that. Before we start, gotta remind you guys to like and subscribe. I heard it helps the YouTube algorithm, so just please do that. Now on to the tips. The first reason you might not be improving at Siege could be because you have the wrong mentality. Now what is the mentality you should have? The first thing about the right mentality, you have to be open to criticism. And that doesn't have to be criticism from other people, you mostly have to be open to self-criticism. You can't expect to improve in anything if you aren't open to or take criticism the wrong way. If you can't acknowledge your own mistakes, how could you possibly fix those mistakes? You're just going to be stuck making the same mistakes, making those same decisions, losing the same ways, and just not improving. Now the next part of mentality is something I see a lot of people doing that they really shouldn't, especially as you get into higher rank, and that is putting the blame on something else. A lot of times people will blame their teammates or just blame the game in general. And newsflash, sometimes teammates or the game in general will be the reason you lose. But when this happens, sure you can tell your teammates how trash they are, but that doesn't help you or the team at all. Instead, you can give them constructive criticism, or you can just focus on your own gameplay and ask yourself what you could have done better to win that round. Most of the time, you're the main reason you die, and you're making the mistake, but you continue to blame that death on something else. How can you expect to improve if you don't acknowledge those mistakes? You certainly won't be able to fix them. Once you get past this phase of blaming your teammates and your game or whatever, you can move on to the next step to improving, which is my next tip for why you aren't improving, that being self-evaluation. Now there are a couple of ways to self-evaluate. The first and probably best way to self-evaluate is to just record your own gameplay. What you want to be looking for are mistakes. You'll catch a lot more mistakes knowing what happens next in the replay than you probably would just regularly playing the game. You also don't have to be really good at the game to evaluate yourself. You don't need to just look at your mistakes. You can also focus on what your overall weaknesses and strengths are. Maybe your crosshair placement was really bad and you lost gunfights because of it. Then you know what you need to work on. Just one tip when evaluating, don't just use cop-out answers. Don't say, oh I died because it was unlucky timing, or other reasons that you basically can't improve with, if you know what I mean. But a lot of people, especially on console, can't record their gameplay, so what should they do then? First answer, the replay system. It isn't out yet, but it is coming sometime in year 5, and will be game-changing to those looking to improve on console, but can't record their own gameplay. Now obviously the replay system isn't out yet, so then what? The last way to self-evaluate, I already talked about a little bit, but simply asking yourself why you died or why you lost that round. Then you can think through what you could have done to be more successful. Just again, when you do this, try not to use cop-out answers. Try to actually think through what you could have done better to win that gunfight round. Would you guys like me to start reviewing viewer gameplay? Comment down below if you would be interested in doing this. Now the next reason you might be improving is a big one that I used to struggle with. It kind of fits in with mentality, but I'm going to throw in another tip anyways, and that is focusing too much on your KD, rank, win-loss, whatever. I used to think having a high KD was better than winning or just improving at the game. And you know what that did? It A, made me play scared and ranked, and B, made me more focused on kills than team play or just improving. If you just want to improve at the game, you have to focus on doing that. Your rank and KD and everything else don't matter all that much. They'll eventually even out to where it should be based on your skill. Which just leads me to another big issue when people care too much about their rank or whatever, and that is not playing ranked. They're too scared to play ranked because it'll ruin their rank or their KD or whatever, so they either don't play the game or just play casual. And both of these aren't ideal. In casual, people communicate way less, play really aggressive, don't punish mistakes that should be punished for in ranked. Plus, the competition you are playing up against is all over the place. You won't improve much of the game if you're playing against opponents that are worse than you and don't punish you for making dumb decisions. Because the thing is, you don't often realize you make a mistake unless you die. And if you don't die, then you'll continue to do that strategy. Then you play ranked, do that strategy, die every single time, and wonder why it didn't work in ranked, because it always works in casual. Just remember, focus on improvement. And one of the best ways to do that is to play ranked. And now the last tip. So these last 3 tips I've been focusing a lot on mentality and how you can improve your game sense, and I haven't really talked a lot about mechanics and aim. If your aim isn't improving, you're probably not practicing enough or just practicing the wrong things. I made a complete guide on how you can improve your aim, which might be the reason you're being held back. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe if you did, and I'll see you guys next time.